Okay, who here hasn't been to space?
What?
You better not throw up on my ship.
Approaching jump in 3, 2, 1.
So we've been covering Avatar ATLA news, Avatar Studios news for a while here lately, as far as when it comes to either the Netflix live action series or what is actually going on with Avatar Studios. And I'll zoom in a little bit so you guys can see that better. There we go. Okay. For what is going on with Avatar Studios. And all of our ATLA news definitely comes from the very credible Avatar News. And that is they have a Twitter page, they have an Instagram page, they have a website that you can go to and you can look up any of this news on your own. They have some great stuff. Then we've got here their timeline. I'm sorry, I was reading something there. Their timeline. So we have their timeline here that they just recently put out, and this is what their timeline is stating. But before we jump into the timeline, I'll give you the list of their untitled projects here. And one of the untitled projects, well, not untitled, the undated projects rather that they have, and it says this is coming from Avatar Studios. They say don't forget the following undated projects that are or were in development as well. And it's talking about the Kyoshi animated movie, the Korra animated movie, and then the next Earth Avatar animated movie. Those are all undated. I'm not sure that they're on the timeline, but they're like I said, they're the undated projects that are coming. And these are the things that are coming for Avatar, in way of Avatar, not just from Avatar Studios, but this includes the Netflix live action series, and this timeline is covering the next 4 years of Avatar Studios. So let's start here. It says book 1 for Avatar: The Last Airbender is supposed to be coming out summer of 2023, and if you guys remember, that's something I kind of predicted too. I said we possibly will get a trailer. I'm thinking a trailer's got to come in next month or March. It's got to come before April. I'm assuming it would have to come before April if we're going to get the series in the summer of 2023. And I really do believe we possibly will be getting that in the summer of 2023. Then we've got that they're going to be kicking out Avatar Studios after that's at. So book 1, Netflix's live act series is book 1 Water. Then you jump to October 10th, 2025. This is coming from Avatar Studios, and this is the adult Aang Gang film that we are going to be getting. And I think that this is very smart on Avatar Studios' part to make this their first film that they're going to be putting out to the public outside of the Netflix stuff. Why? Because it's the nostalgic factor. It's something that fans and everyone are familiar with. We know this group. We know this gang. We know that Dante Bosco is coming back to voice Zuko. I believe some of the others are also coming back to voice Aang, Katara, Sokka, and Toph. So starting with that nostalgic factor, starting with things that is already familiar to audiences, I think that's very smart on Avatar Studios' part there. And it's very possible that we could get a film or series in the same year, but we'll see, because they put here, I'm sorry, I kind of skipped this one here, because they put here before the Avatar Aang Gang film, looks like in summer of 2025, before the Aang Gang film, we're looking at getting book 2 Earth. And that's very possible, but the reason I say it's possible is because I think depending on, like everything, depending on the general audience's perception of this live action adaptation on Netflix, depending on the critics, what they do and what they think of the book 1 and everything like that, I think then book 2 could possibly get greenlit. But it's going to be dependent upon how the show does, because a lot of us, as you guys have expressed in the chat before, I've expressed to you guys, I've seen this expressed in multiple other places, a lot of people aren't really too hyped for it because of the bad taste that the M. Night Shyamalan film left in everyone's mouth, how bad that live action adaptation was and things like that. It's just not something that people are really looking for. But as we've talked about also, I'm excited for it, and I feel like a lot of you guys may also be excited for it as well, just from things I've seen you guys saying in the chat, things I've seen when we've discussed it and things like that. And it looks like from the pictures we've shown, the behind the scenes stuff, the cast that we've seen, it looks like, and listening to Netflix talk about it themselves with how much care they're going to be putting into it, it looks like it is actually going to be pretty good. So we'll move on here to the next, and that's winter of 2025. And we know that is the new Avatar Earthbender series that we're going to be getting from Avatar Studios. So we've talked about that one too. We've also talked about the Zuko film that's coming in October 9th, 2026. And like I just said, Dante Bosco is coming back to voice Zuko. And we've also kind of discussed what could this possibly be about. I think maybe, just maybe, they're going to be following the comic where Zuko is looking for his mother and things like that. I think at one point he also plays a role to Azula as like her mentor, as basically as her Uncle Iroh. So we could possibly be seeing as a rehabilitation type of deal for Azula. We could be seeing things like that going on in the series. I mean, like, again, I'm just speaking pure off the comic, things that they could adapt from the comic and bring it into the series. It's something that they could do. Then we've got one here that slates a spinoff. Now, I have zero clue what this spinoff could be, what it's going to look like, or anything like that. I'm honestly not sure. But they have a spinoff series here listed for 2026. No month or anything, just listed as the year 2026. Then we've got here book 3, which is Fire, for the Netflix live action series, and that's going to be coming in summer of 2027. Nick, again, for that, it just goes back to what I was saying at the beginning there. Possibly with the first 2 books coming out, depending on the fan perception of it, depending on what critics are saying, all those factors go into if Netflix is going to continue to shell out money to do a book 2 and a book 3 for their live action Avatar series. Now, if it's doing Stranger Things new, or making Stranger Things noise, or even close to Stranger Things noise, I believe that they do greenlight book 2, but I don't believe book 3 gets greenlit unless book 2 is honestly going. It's got to pop, I think. It seems like it's been a lot of money that they've put into it. Not seems like. I mean, they've talked about it too. It seems like it's a lot of money that they've put into this series, and they want it to be magnificent. They want it to be something that the overall fans are going to love, because they understand and know that this is a series, a beloved series that many, 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 many people love, and it's not something we want to see tarnished in live action again. So I think that could definitely be on par to being true. Now, these last 2, this animated film could possibly be the Korra film, October 8th, 2027. That could possibly be the Korra film that was undated, and we know that they are putting a lot of emphasis on that Korra film. It's something that they do want to show. Now, this animated series, I don't know. A film and a series, I feel like if that's, it really could be happening. But my thing with that is Avatar Studios would have to be working on multiple projects at once. I'm not saying that they couldn't, but working on multiple projects at once in order to pull some of this stuff off by some of these dates and years that they're trying to get it out. But it's very possible. Hell, I don't know. I don't work at Avatar Studios. I don't know what their work ethic is over there, or what it is they've got planned. But I will tell you, this was exciting to see. Their timeline, the slate for things that they have coming out. As far as a big Avatar, as big as an Avatar fan as I am, I'm pretty excited for this. So let me know down below. As always, question is for you guys. Let us know down below in the comments what you guys are thinking about what's coming forward for Avatar Studios, and not just Avatar Studios, but the Netflix live action adaptation. Are you excited for this slate? Is it something that you're like, I'm not that excited? Or you're like, yeah, this, like Raymond, this makes me a little bit more excited than anything Marvel has coming or anything DC has coming. Let me know down below in the comments what you guys are thinking of this slate.